Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming.
Great weekend here.
Yeah,
For sure.
great weekend. Thanks for coming out. Important weekend.
Very.
Yep.
We actually had a paying customer. He gave us money.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Gotta start with one.
He gave us money. It starts with one.
Yeah.
But it was kind of cool because it really was rained out, and we really did call it. He really did say, I don't care. I'm coming anyway.
Yeah.
So that was a neat way to kick it off.
And made it through the weekend. Mud, shit, water, and all.
Yep.
Hail
On an oil head.
on an oil head.
Tractor.
He did awesome.
He did do awesome.
Really minimal.
So what's your name?
My name is Chris Bronstorp, and I'm an adventure bike rider. Been riding now for 7 years, and yeah, I love it. Changed my life.
How so?
It opened me up to a whole new community. Definitely opened me up to some, childhood experiences, riding BMX bikes and mountain bikes when I was a kid. And it's a lot of the skills I learned doing skids and jumps and whatever I was young. I was able to take some back into a 550-pound bike, adventure bike. So
What's different about the motocross thing translating over into the adventure bike to you? What's the first thing that jumps out at you?
utility. Adventure bike, you can ride anywhere. You can tour on it, ride 500,000 miles a day on the highway. You can go 120 miles an hour on it if you want, or you can go 2 miles an hour if you want. You can go off for just so much utilitarian, so much more options, and you can just go anywhere.
So tell us how you came here to Austin Moto Adventures.
I came here through Trev, actually. I heard through the grapevine of a few things happening over here, and so I reached out to Trev a few months back. Heard of some things he's building with you, and I was really curious about it. And G McCall, so I got really interested in it and decided to figure out how to come out and visit and check it out myself.
And your thoughts on the place so far? Since he's only built a little bit, it's very
I just built a couple of
nominal participation.
Yeah, I know. The effort's a little lacking. I know. It's like, but
Yeah, he really did. He really did.
yeah, at least
24 hours a day.
At least 4 cabins up a day,
Yeah.
that type of thing.
Finished?
But
Finished?
finished. Yeah,
Nice.
and decorated.
I
as
thought
well.
we were friends, man.
Yeah, they decorated as well. No, but it's been amazing just to see the whole setup, the layout of the cabins, the layout of the course, and there's so much just off-road riding here. It's amazing. I was so impressed with the size, because I've been to numerous off-road schools and so on, and there's a couple decently sized ones, but they're kind of like limited in space, or they have certain sections of space we could train in. And here it's just endless. Endless amounts of possibilities of different modules you build, and this should really put the bike in its pace.
Yeah, we're super excited about that component of it. Like today when we went on the back, and I'm sorry you weren't there for that. I had a great time back there. It's easy to get lost.
Yeah.
On the property.
Yeah, there was no trail.
Right.
You were just kind of following the fence line.
Yeah.
And then
With the flowers.
the flowers and following the pretty colors.
Yep.
And but yeah, that was amazing to go up there and to see the amount of different terrain here was just so surprising in the middle of Texas.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't
exactly
realize
what I thought.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I used to live in Texas, but wasn't an off-road rider or anything of the source at the time, and so I never could experience it. And just thought it was a big flat, sort of flat state. But to come out here and see the diverse terrain and the rocks and the dirt and the mud and the sand and the grass and trees and cactus,
Flowers.
it's just flowers, and they just have everything.
Yeah.
It's way surprising.
Feel like it has all the elements of all the BDRs that we can, if it's not here, we can put it here.
Yeah.
Just really excited about that component of it, and to become a BDR training facility bucket list. They will be part of that bucket list we're excited about.
What do you got? What do I got? Well, you all were out playing around on the backside, scouting stuff out and checking it out. Mentioned it. Had first paying customer. Richard was a complete badass. He had his limitations, like everybody does when they start. We worked through a lot of stuff. We got to a lot of curriculum very quickly because it was basically a private
Yeah.
private lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby was here and spent a few hours out there.
Bobby
Chris
Q.
came out. Yeah, Bobby Q. Chris came out, gave some help, and then Mo showed up and offered his 2 cents of everything. He did really good, and it was nice for me rolling out the first time with Rich following on the bike. It's like, we're going out to train on a course that I designed and we built, leaving a camp that I designed and we built, and this is our place. And it was kind of touching for me because this is ours.
The whole new beginning.
And it is completely
fresh.
We're doing the same thing.
Fresh.
We're going to touch how many thousands of people's lives and change them and make them better riders. So it was a really, really cool moment for me to kind of leave the camp behind where I've only spent a couple hours over the last couple of months working on stuff. Sorry, I'm slacking.
We'll talk
To
about it.
actually go out and jump on a bike with a customer behind me and just do the thing that I've come to really enjoy. Yeah. So it was
It's your thing. It's your calling.
kind of, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But the biggest aspect of that, especially as motorcycle being a community event, even though it's a very independent thing to do, to be able to take the training and grow the community within this adventure bike community.
Yeah.
And then also provide them with skills to become better, safer riders, and to grow them, to challenge them, to set them in pace, to put them in uncomfortable positions.
Yep.
And and then they have these aha, exciting moments. They have some down moments too, dropping the bikes and so on. But that's all part of the adventure and part of the fun. The thing is, we're all doing this together, especially as trainers. I mean, there's nothing better to be able to provide those skills and change people's lives.
No.
It's such a huge deal.
And for Richard, it was another one of those things. It's like, I've ridden bikes. It's been a little while, but I don't remember my hand ever hurting this much. I was like, I need to work out more. I'm like, honestly, yes, you can get the little grip strengthener tools and all of that. I said, the only way to really do this is to get on the bike.
I don't know.
Yep. Yeah. More time you pull that clutch, it's strengthening your hand.
Yeah, that's a really good point you bring up with the of working out and getting your body used to this kind of type of riding, because we've all heard the standard quote from on-road touring riders. We've probably said it ourselves in the past, where we're riding down beautiful roads and we see all these dirt roads go off, and wondering what's down the road and can I ride down there and so on. And the first train of thought is we're getting a dirt bike or something of that nature, but no, there are adventure bikes that will go off-road and do all the things, not as quickly or as sometimes as fun, but there's a whole different fun with it. And where you can ride these bikes on road, tour on them, and also take them off road and put them in really technical spaces, to where what you guys teach. And but one thing they always forget with that is it's not just you can be a so in shape person, ride a motorcycle. You don't have to be in shape at all. You're just sitting and riding down the road. But on a venture bike, it's very athletic. What do you call it? It's very athletic activity.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of endurance and it takes a lot of just exercise, really, to handle these bikes off road, to be able to pick them up. And a lot of it's just your anxiety and stuff trying to get up to stuff that you're working out so hard. And so to be able to do this kind of riding and this kind of teaching, you have to have some sort of endurance. You got to be somewhat in shape.
Yeah.
And which means going to the gym, or doing some sort of strength training exercises, cross training, and endurance training. Doing some Stairmaster, doing some running, walking hard on the treadmill,
Riding a bicycle.
Yeah, riding a bicycle. Anything that's going to get your heart rate up, and but the strength training too is a pretty big aspect. It's going to help you out a lot. Man, so where you pick up the bike or up to handle the bike, or even, especially we're in the short, like slow riding, technical situations, we really have to manhandle the bike to push it where it needs to go, especially in off-camera turns and hills and so on. You have to be able to push that bike where it needs to go. And then even on the, sometimes there's going to be a takeoff, or you drop the bike and you go rolling down the hill a little bit. If you've got a little bit more endurance, a little bit more strength training, you're going to be able to handle those situations a lot easier.
Yep.
And we've all been there numerous times.
I wouldn't call him a doughy person, would you?
Tactical girth. Was the
tactical girth.
was the term that was used.
Yeah, but I think Richard was referring to himself more as tactical girth.
Yeah,
I wouldn't consider the Viking over here to have tactical girth or to be doughy.
not so much.
No.
Not so much.
So I mean, I think it's safe to say you can pick up a bike.
I've watched.
You've probably not been injured picking up a bike.
No,
And that's because
because I do the training.
put your money where
Yeah.
your mouth is. Right?
Yeah, I actually designed a lot of the training I do now. I've been lifting weights for 35 years now. Not that long, 30 years. But all for different reasons, different times in my life, whether it was powerlifting, just to get in shape, just to maintain my strength and just to take care of myself. But now I actually design a lot of my training around the bike. So a lot of the exercises, weight training, the lifting I do mimics a lot of similar bike pickup exercises, and whether it's the handlebar lift or the standard lift or anything like that, I mimic those weight training things to that. So I can strengthen my lower back, my hips, my quads, my hamstrings, and my upper back and arms.
Yep.
It just makes it so much easier.
So your wife, Callie, right? Cassie, sorry. Cassie is an instructor or a coach and also into the fitness behind the bikes and,
Yes.
and into that with you.
Yep.
So what do you guys do together as a family in preparation for really to make sure you get the most out of this sport? How do you guys work together?
So fortunately, when we're home together, we do train together. And so she's got into lifting the weights with me and doing some of the lifts, everything from, upper body to lower body, a lot of core stuff. And she does all the same things I do. Of course, not the same weight because she's half my size, but we do all similar lifts to mimic the training we do.
Yeah.
And but we also, after we do the lifting in the strength training, we incorporate a lot of cross training and a lot of high endurance stuff, whether it's picking up the tire, doing the ropes, just doing quick steps and so on. It just helps so much when we get in these tight situations to where it's going to take a lot of work to get through something, and it just makes it so much easier. You don't even think about it.
She rides for a living, right? I mean, that's her job. And
Yeah, so she owns FGF Moto, and she does her own private training on and off road, and she does mainly in Albuquerque and nationally as well. She'll travel to places and do it on her own, and she'll actually do dealer events as well.
I think we need to probably get her here.
I know we need to get her.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah, and she teaches both men and women.
Yeah.
So it's not, even though she's only 5'4" and riding a big 1250 GS, she teaches everyone how to ride.
And with that, it's nice to see a smaller person
Yeah.
teaching how to ride these giant, massive bikes.
Yeah.
And you see a small person on that bike, and it makes a Viking like you, if you're new to the sport, go, wow, it is all about the technique.
Yeah.
It's not about your size or your tactical girth, or you have it in your head that you can do this. Doesn't matter your size. You can still.
Yeah, it breaks all the misconceptions of you have to be tall and big and strong to ride these bikes. I mean, even dirt bikes. Dirt bikes are, tall bikes. And a lot of people don't ride them because they don't think they can. Because a lot of us were taught young, whether by our parents or just the community, that you have to have both feet down when you come to flat. That's the safe way to ride.
Right.
That's not the case. Yeah. And so you can, no matter how tall you are or how short you are, you can ride these bikes if you choose. And we will train you and teach you how to do it. She's really good at that.
A gross example of the fitness level, you talk about squats, and we'll get into that in a second, like the things that you guys do, and hopefully send you home with some homework to grab your GoPros and record some of your techniques and the lifting that you do, and to make a series out of this, like we talked about. But like, I'm 5'10". I stepped where I thought there was ground today, and there was no ground, so the bike started going over, and all of a sudden my foot made contact, but the bike was already far enough over that since my back injury, I haven't been working out, I'm not as strong as I was, all of a sudden I couldn't hold the bike up, so the bike goes over.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing, like before I went to that other place to coach, to go through as a student there, took it very, very seriously. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know it was going to be this guy, first of all, which is such a friggin' blessing too, brother. You're supposed to. But I took it really, really seriously, and for 3-4 months, I worked out really hard. Really got after it, and squats, deadlifts, everything I could, lunges, all with weights, everything to prep.
Lunges are a big one.
Yeah, yeah. And that set me apart from, and I've been riding my whole life, but still that level of fitness, I was more fit than 90% of the people there, if not all of them. And that helped me so much with all of it, with learning the new things, picking up the bike and being able to hold it up when I'm starting to go over and all that. So critical to the process.
Especially like cardio side. I mean, you can breathe better, everything works better, but being at altitude, because it was at 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
You came from Texas. I know it's a little bit higher here than normal. I thought it was just a flat, nothing, barren wasteland.
Yeah.
Little did I know that hill country is actually kind of cool. But being up there and being in shape and doing what you did, like you just said, it sets you apart from everybody else, because there's always one or two people in a class that you can tell take care of themselves, have the drive to do it. That's a huge part of the mindset and the drive. But you show up, hour number one, I'm like, oh yeah, he's got it. And from then on, that's when we kind of, I guess we had some fun.
What makes the training better? It makes training easier, and it makes it more fun.
Yeah.
Because, if you're out of shape and don't work out and you jump on a bike and you go and you do a level 1 or even level 2 training you've done before, and you probably learned by then, maybe not. We've all seen that. It just makes it easier to where you can last a day. It lasted 2 days. Sometimes it's 3 days of training.
No.
And then what if you do a tour after that? You're not going to have a problem with it. You just go through the training and you're going to learn faster, quicker. Your skills are going to get better. Your reaction times and your all the routines and all the feels with the bike, it's going to come a lot quicker for you. And also it's not going to be a drain either, to where, after lunch comes, you've eaten and now you're exhausted and tired and, we got 3 more hours of training to do. It's not easy stuff.
No.
And, what we're talking about here is really big stuff. Like we're talking, no pun intended, the big adventure bikes, these 1250 BMWs and heavyweight that we're talking about moving around. And think about all the benefits that you actually get that we're not talking about if you're just fit. You just get fit. Quit making excuses. Quit eating fat. Quit drinking so much. Just get fit.
Yeah.
Right? And everything in your life is better all the way around. Get out of bed easier in the morning. You go to sleep better at night if you just put a little bit of time in. And it really doesn't take too much.
Yeah, we're not asking, we're not saying you need to be a CrossFit champion or something, or, deadlifting 500 pounds. It's just literally getting a better shape.
Yeah.
Cardio shape and a little bit of strength training, get your muscles a little more used to it, joints and so on. Especially your lower back and hips. That's where we all feel it, just coming of age and stuff too, that's where all that tension sits when you're riding the bike, and especially standing up. And stretching, we got to stretch. That's a big one.
Which everybody hates.
Yeah.
But everybody
Got to
must
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So give us an idea before we bore everybody to death with going back and forth. Give us an idea of what you guys do, you and your wife do on a weekly basis. How many times a week do you work out together?
We work out at least five days a week.
Okay.
Whether it's together or separate.
Right.
Some days I'll throw a 6th day in there, depending on how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But I've been working out since I was a kid, so it's just still
Part of you.
It's a routine for me. So it's not work for me. I enjoy working out, going to the gym, even just going for a walk with the dog, walking up hills, even that kind of stuff is everything helps.
Yeah.
So I try to stay really active.
But your workout routine itself would tell me, just give us a cut before we send you to record your own.
Yeah. So
Give advice to everyone.
yeah. So just to give a little tidbit, like on a normal training day, is we'll do about 10 to 15 minutes of cardio to warm up, stretch, and then we'll do about usually 20 to 30 minutes of weight training. Whether it depends on what body part it is that day. I do separate the body parts. Sometimes I do combine them. And then usually last, 10 to 15, sometimes 20 minutes, we'll do a whole cross-training workout. So we'll set up 4 different exercises in the cross-training room. Whether it's picking up a tire, steps, do the ropes, sit-ups, mountain climbers. And we'll go through, do like 5 to 6 sets of those. Just run through them with 30-second rest times to where you're dying at the end. Just like we were playing soccer in high school or something. Like your coach just yelling at you, and you're just about to die. We get to those levels because it's, number one, it's fun. Because I'm constantly testing myself every day. And but it just makes riding these bikes so much easier.
Yep.
And another big tool too is just doing the balancing board. There's numerous different types of balancing boards you can do. Whether it's just a static one, what's the one on the wheel, on the roller. But man, those will save your ankles. They'll save your balance, and it will actually make riding the bike so much easier when you're trying to lean and trying to pressurize your feet, and pressurize the pecs.
I would say even the most important thing is balance. If you're not going to put in the time to work out, at least put in the time on a balance board to get the balance. I've been blessed with really good balance. It's saved me countless times.
Same.
So then not everybody is. So you got to practice.
Yeah, and they're pretty expensive. Those you can have at the house. You can just get up in the morning and do 5 minutes of it, and it'll totally change your whole balance and strengthen your ankles and strengthen your hips and everything else. So it's pretty amazing what it does. The first time I did it, after a few times I got on the bike, it was night and day difference the way I felt. But I felt so much more in tune with it. It was so much easier. My ankles felt stronger, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So we're going to ask you to please go home and you two work together to show everyone what you do to prep collectively, because you guys are pro riders, really are at this level, and put a series together to help everyone follow this up.
Yeah, we have to.
And it's not about, we put it on your wife's channel and your channel and whatever. We put it out everywhere because that's what this is about. It isn't about us. This place is not about us.
Yeah.
This is about growing. It's about all of us. Yeah. And it's about growing this sport, this thing that we love more than just about anything.
The tribe.
The tribe. It's about growing the tribe.
Yeah.
And so we want to help them do it safely and effectively and happy and uninjured.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be doing the tribe a great service to show us how you do it.
Yeah, of course. No, I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity, and it's such a it's such a great thing to be part of this and to be able to be part of this community and just give back to all the fellow riders and just teach them how to be better riders, be safer riders. Yeah. And it's such a great sport to be in.
Last thing I'll say is that coming in, like when you first got here, I almost couldn't talk because of what we've done here, right? I mean, I was so overwhelmed when I pulled in.
Yeah.
Richard's here, he had already shown up on Thursday, and I came in on Friday. You were about to roll in, you were just about to roll in, and I was mesmerized by what has been accomplished.
Yeah.
Not, of course, by you a little bit, of course by you, tremendously. This would not have been possible without you, obviously. But the injured Mike, other people that have just stepped up and made all this happen. And the brain power, the physical power, the willpower, everything that we put into this to have people of your caliber, to have Richard come in and then a paying, person come through is like proof of concept for us. And I'm really grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice work.
Me too.
I'm also baffled at how quickly this is all coming together, because you've been building this just for a couple months. I mean, it usually takes years, a year or two for even some of that to get built.
4 months, 10 cabins, each with their own bathroom.
Yeah.
4 months ago, this was a dirt parking lot. And now we have 10 individual, little hotel rooms.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
They're comfortable, they're quiet, and they're cool.
You're extremely quiet.
Yeah, very
I was pretty amazed.
Even with a generator, because we don't yet have
even the generator, and a few people partying outside, but you couldn't hear anybody.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
It's been
I felt a lot of sleep.
had a lot of work, a couple hours a week. But even on that, the course, we got 500 acres of stuff that I laid out. We cut, we keep riding it, we keep grooming it, we keep building shit. So
new ideas pop up.
Yeah.
It's an adult playground.
Yeah, it is.
It's amazing.
Rosson said, I want Disney World for adventure bikes. I'm like, all right.
You're going to get it. We're all going to get it.
I still want the elevator with the steering wheel.